to Mini Modernz. My name's Simone and welcome to my tiny little corner of the miniature web. We are here to think big, build small, guys. So I hope that you are here for the ride. If you are new to my channel, welcome in. I'm new to this channel myself and I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited that you have stopped on this video today. So guys, if you've seen my first couple of videos, you'll know that I am new to miniatures and new to the craft in general, and I'm so excited and thrilled to be a part of this community. You wouldn't understand. I feel absolutely blessed, and it's so overwhelming, the love that I've had already so far in the community, and I really do appreciate you guys. But today we're going to be talking about the mock-up room, and what I call the mock-up room is a room that is interchangeable, adjustable, removable. You can do whatever you like with it, and I found a way to do that, and I've used just one single room. You saw in my first video where we had the black and white themed modern living room. I'm going to show you in this video how we can make removable, changeable flooring and wallpaper, and how you can change one room into any room that you like. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get something out of it, and if you do, let me know in the comments what you found useful, what you didn't, and what you'd like to see in the future. So guys, we're going to jump straight into the video now, waste no time. We're going to change one room into another room using the same room. Okay, it's basically a mix and match. So stay tuned to the end to see the final results of what the room looks like, and I hope you guys enjoy this.
So picking up from our last episode on the mock-up room, we made the window and the basic frame. So now I've actually got the curtain rod stuck on the window. I've added some extra little decorative beams or modern stripes, if you like. I've got a picture in the back there that is removable. I also added some like fake sycamore trees just for the look of things, you know. I just wanted to give it a flair. And then I added a bit of Mod Podge gloss just to give the window a little nice shine. So now today, once we've got, you know, you see how the basics of the windows work, we're going to work on actually making removable flooring and removable wallpaper, as well as showing you how we can decorate the room. But first, let me just show you how the curtains actually click on. So we've got the magnetic strips on there that we put on in the last video. There's a short video of that as well if you really want to just quickly see how this was done. So once you've got your magnets on there, you can literally just slip the curtain onto the back of the rod and then just pull it through. Just take your time with it as well, because you don't want to like pull anything off or just snap anything. But I used wood glue and not super glue, wood glue and hot glue to stick my rod on. I put the hot glue on just so it would have the immediate stick, and then the wood glue for a stronger hold. But here you can see it's all connected on. You just fold it over and it just snaps together. It's so perfect if you want to change things around and remove your curtains, and I'll show you a new set of curtains that we have on here towards the end. So I also made a little curtain holder. What are these things called? Comment below if you know the name of what these are. Curtain strap. So I use magnets again so you can remove them, change them. I want everything to be as changeable as possible. It's only a mock-up room, as I said, because the reason for this is if you want to take pictures, whether it be for Instagram, Facebook, to show your friends, YouTube even. I just think it's a really good way. And then you do this second curtain in exactly the same way. You just clip it on, add the little bow or curtain connector or whatever we want to call it, and there you have it. It's just really super cool, and you know that everything is removable because you just have to unclip the magnets and then we're done. So now the main thing is for us today is working on the floor. So we're going to take the curtains off and then we're going to get on with the floor. So in our last video we actually used these printables that I actually have available in my Etsy store. A link for all of my socials will be in the description as well. We made this on a cereal box and put some duct tape on the back of it to seal it down. And the reason that we do that is just so we can get the baseline of where we want our floorboards. So really seal it down with the duct tape. Give it a nice little press down each of the corners, because today we're going to do the trimming, and that is going to be like the key part of making these floors removable. And you, even if you're doing like actual wood, you can use the same method, putting it on a cereal box, absolutely how you'd normally do the floor, but we're making this removable. So I'm going to use this is grey craft board or cork board, I'm not sure, or chipboard. But you get this from Amazon as well. You can get the huge ones or you can get smaller ones, but I'm going to use these to actually make my skirting boards. I've just found that as I'm a beginner, I don't have all of the material. So the things that I do have and the things that I can get, I'm going to try and use that, especially for a mock-up room that I want to mix around. So you can just measure up the length of your room, how you want to do it. And also I'm going to probably put a little bit more on, just if I need to shave anything down, I can do that. But you want to measure up your room, and then we're going to make some strips to make the actual skirt in itself. So what I'm going to do here is do them at 1.5 centimeters or 15 millimeters is the width of the back strip that's going to go onto the wall, because I'm going to make 2 strips so that we have a little bit of definition in the skirting boards, and you'll get to see that in a minute exactly what I mean. So the length of the room was 11 inches, so that will be the length of the skirting boards. And again, I'm just measuring along so that I actually get a nice clean straight line, because that is something that I have been struggling with. I'm getting better. I've worked out you have to kind of measure along the width of what you're doing equally before you make the line, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just gonna pencil this in now. Just made a little bit of a bump in there, but it's all right. I can just go over that again. And we're gonna get the length of our skirting board. So this is gonna be the first part that's going to stick to the wall, and I'm going to do a layer on top of it which is slightly smaller. But first I'm just going ahead and get my knife and just cut along here. Make sure you have a sharp knife as well, it's very handy. And you can get really fancy with this and add some of your own lines and stuff depending how, you know, textured that you want this to look. But so here we've got the 2 strips. So we've got the back one that we just did, and the second one that I've made slightly smaller than the first one. So you can see, so the second one I've actually made that 1 centimeter, so that we've got like the 0.5 centimeter left at the top. So what you want to do now, once you've got your skirt in, is just push it up against your wall and press down, just to make sure that this is all going to be leveled up how you want it to. And I'm going to show you how we're going to get this all stuck down together in a moment. But yeah, that's fine. As I said, I've made a bit more so I can just have, it's better to have more than to not have enough. So you can see that the pieces are all jaggedy at the moment. Once they're stuck on there, I'm going to get a file and shape it exactly how I want it. So there we go, just leveling that up, and we're going to go ahead and stick that down. You see the gap? And once that's painted, it's going to look really nice and clean, and then it's going to make that nice skirt board effect. And we're going to add the wood glue to this. It's like my best friend at the moment. I've been caning the stuff, so I really paste a lot of the wood glue on there because I don't want this to come apart. As I said, I feel like the skirting boards in the rooms are a really nice focal point. It's a really clean thing, so I do not want this peeling or coming off, so I really layered on the wood glue there. So that's the thicker piece is going at the bottom, and then the thinner piece that we made is going to go at the top. And if you're doing your trimmings, you can design this however you want. This was just the design that I wanted to go for. I wanted it to be quite simple because this is a mock-up room. I wanted to be able to change it or change things around it without there being too much drama on the trimming. But you could go to town with this if you like. So there you go. It's got the wood glue on there now. It's going to set nice. So can you see? It looks a bit rough at the moment, but that's fine. So I'm going to put these clamps on. I've lost the little piece at the top here. You see that? I need to go and find that. I know it's around somewhere. It pinged off. So I need to go and find where it pinged off. I'm like, damn it, not now. But yes, put these nice little clamps on there so it just dry nice and even, and just keep it into place. There's one thing that I have noticed with this kind of stuff as well, it's all that I'm learning, is about warping. And we do have a bit of that later on and I'll show you. But these clamps, they work great. I'm just going to leave them on there for a while and let them settle. They don't warp once you put the clamps on like this, but once you start adding paint, that's when the warping takes place. And I just use my file and I'm going to use some gesso as well just to get this all nice and smooth before I go in with the paint. So this white acrylic gesso, as I said, I'm new to everything, so I'm just learning, because I've tried, you know, just painting onto just normal cardboard straight, and you can see little dimps and bumps and whatnot. So I found that the gesso kind of keeps everything smooth and brings out the color of the thing that you want. So even though I'm using white for the skirting, the gesso just gives it a nice, you see I've got the 2 pieces for the 2 sides of the walls on, but the gesso gives it just a nice finish, because I'm going to be using the titanium white acrylic paint, and I've got a few of these. I'm not sure if there's better ones to use, but for now that's what I've got in my stash. And so I'm just going to go over the gesso once it's dried with the acrylic paint, and it gives it a nice little gloss. I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the gesso helps the original color that you're going for stay. So if I just painted the white onto the card, it would have had that, you know, like a dull grey kind of look behind it. But this just keeps it white. That's all I know so far. I've still got a lot to learn, so when I experiment with different colors, we might see different things. But yeah, just giving these a nice little paint. So here you can see after the painting, it started to walk. It looks more like a bridge now. So what I figured out is if I paint on both sides, and the side that is not going to be showing, I'm actually going to weigh that down, and it actually worked out really well. So I weighed it down with my wood glue, my gesso, my Mod Podge. These are the other things that I had to hand that were quite heavy, and it really helped keep my skirting boards straight. So now that they're done, the back of it looks a bit tacky because I had to put the weights on straight away while it was wet. That's the only way, if you know how to stop warping. But you can see now it's all pretty straight. There's no bends in it, and it worked out fine for what I need. So now that we've got the skirting boards painted, filed and ready to go, this is the part that's really important. When you're putting the skirting board down, you want to really press it down onto your wooden surface. So as I said, if you've got a thicker surface, press it down as much as possible, so that it's like you're getting it to touch the base as much as possible, because we want to be able to remove the floor afterwards. So I'm going to stick these down with the trusty wood glue, and as I said, I really want this to connect to the wall very securely, but also pushing it down. But whilst I'm putting this glue on as well, I've got to be mindful of getting at the bottom of the skirting. So I go over it the wood glue, and I've got some handy dandy baby wipes that I use for everything, and I just go ahead and just wipe along the bottom that will be touching the floor. So you see here, just wipe along the bottom, just make sure there's no glue on that part, because we don't want it actually sticking to the floor. We only want it to stick to the wall itself. So you see, that's nice and clear. So now we're actually ready to put this on the wall, and you can see as well it's relatively straight. Don't worry about all the cracks and stuff, that's just where I put the weights down, but that side won't be seen, so don't worry about all of that. So here we go. Now we can go ahead and put this on the wall, and there we go. Just push this down, and as I said, just give it a really nice firm tug or push, because you want it to press onto your flooring as much as possible. It will leave a slight gap, and that's exactly what we want, because we won't be able to move the floorboards in and out, change them. The only thing with this method is if you are changing your mock-up room or the flooring on your mock-up room, make sure that the original board that you use, for example, I use the cereal box. I'll always be using cereal boxes when I do this, so I get the same thickness each time. If you think you're going to be using anything thicker, you don't have to push down so hard. You just want to leave just a slight gap so that you can slip your floorboards in a minute, and I want to show you that. So there we go. I'm just really going to push down, so you can see I'm just pushing it down, and I'll hold it there as long as possible, and then just let that set. And then we move on to the other side. And we do the same thing over here. And because I've got the 3 beams at the side there, I'm going to give it an extra push. If you're doing this, you could technically cut the beams off at the bottom, but I actually kind of I just liked how clean it looked without the cut of the beams, so I just left them there. But again, just push right down as firmly as you can because you want it equal on both sides. And as I said, it's still going to give a really nice clean look, but you just don't want it wobbling or not looking like it was meant to be. So I'm going to put a little clamp at the side there just because of the beams, but then I'm going to hold it in place with my hands here until it sets a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to actually connect or remove the rest of the floor. So you can see it's already starting to look really good, but I'm going to go around, push everything down as much as possible, and there we have it. So now that it's set, the floor is looking good, and now we can remove the floor. You see a slight gap underneath. That's where we're going to be able to change our flooring. So I've taken it out. Take off the duct tape that you originally had on there as well. So you've just got your cereal box or whatever your base floor is showing. You don't actually need anything now. All you have to do is just slip it under your skirting board. Just really carefully as well. There's no rush to it, but it just makes it easier. And if you do have any warping or anything going on around the edges, the skirting boards will deal with that because it will pin everything down. So you just slide it in like a jigsaw puzzle or whatever and just pop that into place. Just keep on going and get the corners in, and then when you get to the edges, just make sure it's all pushed in, and it will all just slip into place really nicely, and voila, you have your removable floorboards. And you could also just use some duct tape to stick down any of the edges that might pop up if you need to, because this is a mock-up room. You want it for, you know, taking your pictures or whatever, so there's certain places that you're gonna have to use your duct tape. And same with the wallpaper. This is also printable. It's available in my Etsy store as well, Mini Modernz. Just check that it's what you want. It will fit on the wall exactly how you want. And here I'm probably going to leave like 1/2 inch at the side so I can fold it around the walls. I'm just going to cut off any of the white edges that we don't need, because once this is going onto the wall, the top and the side edges I'll be folding over the edge of my walls. So now that that's cut, just check that it will fit. Mainly at the bottom, I want it to look clean as well. That's going to fit on there, and I'm going to go back in with my handy dandy Mod Podge. So I'm happy with the size of it. As I said, we're going to use some Mod Podge gloss because I want my bricks to have a shiny gloss, and I've also got a little brush that goes with the Mod Podge as well. I did break the brush somehow. Not sure how I did it. I think it just fell off when I was washing it, but I managed to shove it back in there. So give this a nice coat with the Mod Podge. And I found if you're using regular paper, the Mod Podge just makes the paper a lot more firm, so you can bend it and it doesn't tear. It just feels like more like wallpaper once it's got Mod Podge. I'm going to try some gloss and matte Mod Podge as well, see if that has the same effect. But you see how that looks really nice. And now I've got my sides already folded, and you can see the top's already folded because I've already measured where I want it to go over my wall. Fold it over the side. You can use some duct tape over the side there. This is just measuring where I'm going to actually put the duct tape for myself. Here we go. You can just see, and you could do this with any paper, any pattern that you have. You just change it any single time that you want to. So here we go. That's roughly where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick my, I keep saying duct tape, but I'm using masking tape. Stick my masking tape all around the bottom and the sides that are going to be stuck onto the actual wall, and just leave to the top and the other side for the rest. So there you just get that as nice and flush with the corner as possible. You can take your time with this. It depends how you want it to look or the angles of the pictures that you're going to be using. But you definitely try to not get any of your masking tape showing. You want to, you know, try and avoid that as much as possible. But there you have it. You've got your nice, clean wallpaper and flooring that are removable. And there you have it. Looking good, I would say, guys. And then you can go ahead and start decorating in your room. So decorate it however you like. A lot of the stuff that I've made here, I'll be making videos, so I'll show you how to make this sofa which is multifunctional. It's got the coffee tables or side tables stuck to it. A lot of this stuff as well, the printables are available in my Etsy store, but all the furniture and the bits and pieces we put in here, I will be showing in later videos how I made these. So this is multifunctional as a coffee table, as a storage box, as just a simple unit. And I just thought it was just really cute. You could pop it over to the side, put a TV on there if you wanted to. But for this room, I'm just going to pop it in the middle as a coffee table. As I said, in future videos, I will be showing you how I made this stuff. So please keep a lookout. And this, for the door as well, I made the base of the door and the frame of the door, which you can actually stick together. I've not stuck it together yet, but I will do, because this is going to be a removable door. So the door itself you can stick together, and then again put your masking tape on the back of the door and just stick it in your room wherever you want it. Again, try and conceal the masking tape as much as possible for when you're taking your pictures, but you just want something that you can just stick down and remove whenever you want. Got some welcome mats. Which one? I think the white one will go well with this room. And there you have it. So in future videos, we are going to be actually working on something completely different. It's really exciting, and I can't wait to do it with you. But I will be going back to this stuff that I've made here. So we've got the macrame plant hanging. So all of this stuff here, you leave in the comments what you'd like to see first as well. Because everything in here has been made from scratch, literally by hand, trying to figure things out. My brain goes off on a tangent sometimes, but I've enjoyed this process. Everything that's in this room is my first attempt at making any of it. So there's going to be a lot of firsts, as I've said before on this channel, and I hope that you do enjoy it. So I'll let you continue watching the rest, and I'll get back to you at the end. And there you have the first style of your living room, but you can modernize it, change it as much as you like. So here, using the same methods as before, I've just replaced the cushions, the curtains with some blinds, the rug, the wallpaper. Everything in this room can be taken off and changed and moved.
As you can see, guys, we've got exactly the same room as before. The measurements, everything is the same, but we've added a few extra things. So we've changed the curtains, and if you remember in the last video, I showed you how to make your curtains removable. So now we've got ourselves some Roman blinds. We've got a throw on the sofa, some new cushions, wallpaper and flooring and rugs. You know, so basically you can accessorize your room. If you wanted to make this a bedroom, you could do that, because everything in here is removable and changeable. So I want you to remember that, guys. And obviously, ooh, look, we can open up the curtains. You can see outside. Lovely day we're having, guys. I hope you made it this far so you get to see this awesome second view of our room. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found that useful. If you did, let me know in the comments below what you think of the new rooms. And what was your favorite room? You like the black and white room? You like the teal and cream room? What is your vibe? Are you more chilled? See me, it depends how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? It depends how I'm feeling, what kind of room I'll go for. But guys, I'd love for you to stay tuned for my next video, where we're going to be working on something big. For me, it's big, okay? Because now, as part of this starter journey, we are going to be stepping into a new realm, and it's going to be like a little mini series. And I almost want you guys to role play along with me on this as well, if you don't mind. Mini Modernz is now going to be a moving home agency, and I'd love for you to be part of that journey with me. So stay tuned for the next video, where we're going to be making a removal van. Because if we're going to be making a home, we need to get the stuff to the home, right? So we're gonna work with me. We're gonna have our little characters. Not sure who, what, how we're gonna do that yet, but The Mini Modernz moving agency has to start. We've got to have a moving van so we can pack up all our stuff and move it into the new mini modern home that we will be building eventually. Guys, we're going to be doing all of this from scratch. It's going to be a wild one, so I hope that you stay tuned for the journey, because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Okay, we are going to wing this together and hope that we create something fabulous. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, guys, think big, build small.
Like, share, subscribe.